I'm just going to do another part. I'll do a part two for this one because I never did get to actually finish reading the article here. I want to make sure to cover this particular one because it's a very important topic. I still can't believe that these companies. Well, I guess none of them. I guess before the the Snowden revelations came out, I guess they all figured they'd be able to go through doing this kind of stuff for all of eternity and nobody would ever know. Obviously, I mean, think about it. That's another thing that's kind of disturbing. Out of the how many countless thousands of people that work for these kinds of agencies and stuff, or these telecoms, or the government, or the security establishment, or any of these, how is it that only one of them has the scruples and the principles to actually speak out and tell us? I mean, think about it. Even after Snowden has leaked what governments and spy agencies and these big telecoms and corporations and banks are doing to screw us all over, nobody else is coming out. I mean, I think there's one other person that chose to remain anonymous, and I know, I mean, yeah, of course, because I understand, if you do it, you're, but is there really no one that has that kind of courage? I know if I was working for any of these companies, I would be that Edward Snowden guy. I just don't know how you people can, some of you people that work for these, the government or the CSIS or these telecom, how can you, I mean, you have to know this stuff. And if you know this stuff, how can you fucking sleep at night knowing that, you're part of, some really sadistic and vicious fucking shit. I mean, this is nasty stuff here. How do you sleep at night? Because you get a paycheck? Man. That's just not right. Anyway, I'm going to continue on with this article. Lawful access includes police asking telecommunications companies to install wiretaps, give access to emails or texts, and hand over identifiers like the name and address of a customer. Tamir Israel, a lawyer specializing in internet and technology law, says the figure is likely so high because until a Supreme Court decision last June, police didn't need a warrant to obtain subscriber information such as the name and address associated with an IP address. So, I mean, here, this guy, I mean, look, gatekeeper. I mean, this is someone that's just trying to form a narrative, act as if they're somewhat against it, but still holding to the line of, you don't want to get the people thinking too much. Because it wouldn't matter if the Supreme Court made a decision to say it was illegal or not. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, this stuff, it's been, whether you go back to 1867 or in 1982 or 84, whenever our Bill of Rights was written up, or even your contract. It's a contract. You don't need a fucking Supreme Court to tell you that, a business, if you don't pay your bills, does the Supreme Court have to fucking make a decision to force you to pay your bills? No. The business will hold you to account. So I guess it's up to us as individuals, as Canadians, that, well, we got to do the exact same thing. We got to hold these companies to account. Now, this guy doesn't really want to tell you that, obviously. Trying to almost a little bit of a defense for them. It's pretty cool how they can manipulate the word and seem and kind of come across as if they're on your side, but they're not. They're just trying to soften the blow. That's all they're doing. What's that? Damage control? When a tool is unregulated in this way, it becomes unregulated. Like I said, it's a contract. It's a fucking contract. It would be written right in there that they can't just give your information out to anybody. I mean, read your contract. Otherwise, if it does say that they were allowed to do that, well, I mean, then that's a very misleading. I mean, how come there was there ever any commercial ever put forward to tell you that any of the comms that you subscribe to or you have a contract with, that they were, I mean, absence that kind of knowledge, anything can be fly under the radar. And, if a person's not willing to, hire lawyers to dig deep through some of, I mean, because we know some of these contracts are pretty in depth, huge, that And the way they're written, you almost have to understand legalese, which is basically political doublespeak is what I call it. But anyways, when a tool is unregulated in this way, it becomes a matter of standard practice, said Israel, a lawyer with the Canadian Internet Policy and Public Interest Clinic at the University of Ottawa. So, I mean, status. You know, when you're getting your information from people that are a part of the bureaucracy, part of the system, don't expect to get, you know, genuine, unbiased information. No assessment is made as to the invasiveness of the tool, whether it's justified in a particular content or not. It's easy to do. It's low cost, so you just do it. A similar pattern of behavior was seen before wiretapping. Before wiretapping became illegal in Canada without judicial authorization, says Israel. In those days, Canadian police employed wiretaps 20 times more often per capita than their counterparts in the U.S., where it was restricted, he says. A lot of those are going to be innocent people, said Israel. A lot of privacy gets violated to find the one person who is an actual criminal. But you see, once again, it always lies in the, well, if you don't have someone to prove that this is fucking wrong, like the Supreme Court or something, once again, another government agency, another branch of government. I mean, come on, Canadians. Fuck, are you going to keep falling for this bullshit? Are you going to keep, just because somebody's wearing a suit? And, you know, that's another thing. I could edit my fucking videos. I could make everything look more professional. Maybe wear a suit when I'm talking. Would that make you, you know, believe me more? Well, even if it did, doesn't matter, because I'm going to fucking be me. I've always been me, and I'm always going to be me. If you don't like what I got to say, if you don't like what the truth I got to tell you, I don't think it's going to matter whether I fucking... Well, even if you believe me just because I put on a suit, well, nah. It just means that you're still susceptible to falling for bullshit. It just means that if I can be more political and learn to be good little snake oil salesman like everyone else and distract you with the perception that I must be in some kind of a position of authority, that's never going to happen. I won't do that. But anyways, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit more to this article here. The rest I don't think has a whole lot to do with it, but it basically tells you that I'm just reading here just a sec here. In recent years, civil liberties advocates, journalists, and Canada's privacy watchdog have repeatedly sought details on the frequency in which telecom companies hand over data to police officers. Not all are convinced that the 80 to 95% estimate is accurate. How exactly did they derive such high numbers? What is the methodology, asked Chris Parsons, a postdoctoral fellow at Citizen Lab, an academic unit at the University of Toronto's Monk School of Global Affairs. If it is sound, that indicates an incredibly high rate, assuming that all crimes or all investigations are some way linked with telecommunications data. It's unclear whether the police estimate comes from. Public Safety only said that the figure is an estimate provided by law enforcement agencies. The Federal Office of the Privacy Commissioner said in 2014 that the RCMP didn't keep proper records of how often it asked telecom companies for subscriber data, which at the time didn't require a warrant. However, attempts by the Commissioner to extract that information from telecoms proved to be a bit more fruitful. 9 of them revealed that they'd been asked 1.2 million times over the course of a year by investigators for subscriber information, a figure that equates to more than 3,002 times a day. So, like I said, the rest of the article, if you want to read it, it's just more and more people from academia. It's more apologists, where they're acting as if, yeah, this seems like it's not right, but they're going to keep, like I said, these are apologists. This is propaganda is what this is. Because you're not going to hear anyone on here say that this is outright fucking illegal or wrong and immoral to be selling your private information or giving your private information away. This is the part that really drives me crazy. It's like, does nobody understand what good, being honest and decent and moral is anymore? Hold them to account. I'm done with this one. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.